The next chapter which we are going to do today is index number. Index number is a device to measure changes in economic variable over a period of time. For example, change in the cost of living, change in industrial expenses, change in agricultural production, change in exports, etc. Now let's have a quick look upon the definition of index number. The famous definition was given by Croxton and Cowden, in which it was mentioned that index number are devices for measuring differences in the magnitude of a group of related variables. Now let's see the features of index number. The first feature is it is the barometer of economic activity. It means it measures all the changes in economic activity, it measures the trends of economic activity. Second, it's a statistical device. Third, it's a specialized average which is capable of being expressed in percentage. Fourth, it measures the net changes of one or more related variables over the period of time. For example, it can measure the difference between the two periods, two localities. Next, it is univariate index. It means it can be computed from a single variable, then it is called as univariate index. If it can be computed from group of variable, then it is called as composite variate. Next, it is prepared for the current year. Next one, we have to take the base year. And the last one, the base year is always assumed to be 100. So these are the features of index number. Now let's see the types of index number. Index number can be split into 4 types: price index, quantity index, value index and special purpose index. Price index measure the general price change in an economy. Quantity index measure the level of output or physical volume of production in the economy. Value, as the name suggests, it measures the change in the value which you can get by multiplying product to its quantity, that is price to quantity multiplication, then you can get the value. And special purpose index number are basically used for construction of special purpose like import export index, productivity index, share price index, etc. Now let's have a look upon the significance of index number in economics. The first, index number are very much useful for framing suitable policies like fixation of wage, agriculture policy, industrial policy or even in budget. Second, it forecasts about the future economic activity. By looking at the index number, economy can forecast about the import and export or the inflation for the next year. Third, it studies the trends and tendency. So basically index number is widely used to measure in economic variable such as production price, export, etc. So it studies the trend overall, how prices were changing. The next one, measurement of inflation. Index number also help us to understand the inflation. For example, changes in the price of gold, changes in the price of oil over the period of time, that can be measured with the help of index number. And last but not the least, it is useful to present financial data in real terms. So as you know that financial data has to be presented in an economy. Index number helps to understand and helps to present that financial data. Now next is construction of index number, which is very much important from 12th board point of view. It is to be split into 7 parts. The first one is the purpose of index number. Before using index number, the purpose of the study should be very clear. So you should be very clear with the purpose, that what you want to achieve. For that we have to use various index number. Second, selection of base year. Base year is the year from which we are comparing the current year. So base year should be free from any economic bias or any natural calamity. The third one is selection of items. The comparison is done between the item. So item should be selected on a very particular level. That means item should represent the entire population. It should represent taste, habit, custom of the people. The fourth one is selection of price quotation. Price quotation, as it varies from place to place, so one should take a price quotation from a very reliable place that should reflect the entire price data. Next, choice of suitable average. As you know, there are 3 average, mean, median and mode. But for calculation of index number, we widely use arithmetic mean. So choice of average should be proper. Next, assigning the proper weight. We assign the weight to relevant importance or relevant importance to different items. So assigning a weight plays a major role. So we should assign a proper weight. The last one is selection of appropriate formula. That means while calculating index number, the formula should be appropriate. whether you want to go with simple index or you want to go with the weighted index. That completely depends the purpose and availability of the data. Now let's have a look upon the method of calculation of index number. It can be broadly divided into two categories: simple index number and weighted average index number. Simple index number can be further divided into price index number, quantity index number and value index number. You can see the formula on the slide. While weighted average number can be divided into two parts, the first which was given by Laspeyres and the second which was given by Paches. You can see the formula which is given on the slide. The last part of index number is limitation of index number. So there are various limitation to index number. The first and foremost limitation it is based on samples. Okay, samples can be biased, samples can be unbiased. So depending upon your data, your index number value might change. Second, bias in data. From the data from where you are picking, whether the primary source or the secondary source can be biased, which can change your index number. Third one, misuse of index number. Index number are just arithmetical average or statistical device. It can be used for multiple use. It can be used for multiple methods which can be legal or illegal. So misuse of index number is quite possible. The next one, defect in formula. No formula is perfect for index number. Then changes in economy. As economy is changing, the taste, habit, preference of people are also changing. So it might affect the index number. Next is qualitative changes. Index number, since a mathematical average, will only talk about the quantity. It will never talk about the qualitative things. The other factors in economy which are important, it overlooked upon it. And the last one, arbitrary weight. The weight which we are assigning will be arbitrary. It is based on your choice. There are no fixed standard for that. So because of these limitations, index number might or might not be useful.